Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is
We are just to the west of you, Coach, on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Tonight, the preseason draws to a close with a good matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one fielded at the 5. Take this across the 25, couple of extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They'll run for the first time with Peyton Barber. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Throwing, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets them the first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation.
And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard there to make the grab. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Come on, set. 30 base. Check, watch what he doing. Big stop, G. Big hit.
First carry for James Conner. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for that.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now Lewis here on first down. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run here with Barber. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made by Justin Evans.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Floyd. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw. Floyd. But it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, D.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me?
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Break. 45. Check my 45. Hey, Haywood. 45, 45, 45. Mike, 45. Here we go. 45, 45. Mike, 45. Ready?
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's got his man on the crossing route. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Get it.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Let's go now. 18, Gator. Switch. They go.
Off the play fake. Here's Osweiler. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. They get the sack on the blitz, but it was 3rd and inches. Are you surprised like I am they weren't running the football there?
I'm right there with you. I would have thought it worst. Quarterback sneak, try and pick up the first down and move on. But instead, I think they thought they could catch him by surprise and maybe hit something deep.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 13. Open man is Switzer, complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
It got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
After reviewing the play, the running on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
A gain of 14 yards brings up third down.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And Wilson has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. On third down, Osweiler. Pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Scott Miller there to make the grab. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Bentley. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Go. Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On first down, Bentley. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Osweiler. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Play action. Now Osweiler. And his throw here is incomplete. Justin Lane there defensively that time to knock it free. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the second quarter, so get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot, because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
To throw is Osweiler. It's caught. Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
30 base.
On first down, it's Lewis. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, it's Lewis. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll run on first down. Lewis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustment. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He's got his man sharp, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Recon, 132 fighter.
He's coming.
They run with Lewis out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
I got you.
On 1st and 10, Floyd, wide open receiver, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Go now. 10 logo.
I know he ain't got it.
On first down, Foreman. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. Ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They'll run on first down. Jones. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 45 on second down, Osweiler. He completes this into the hands of Miller. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Let's go.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now in the preseason, what'd you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here at the end of week 3, or game...
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Come on, let's go. Kill.
They go play action with Osweiler. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Throwing on 3rd and long. Floyd looking left sideline. It's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A 3rd down gain of 19. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports.
We go set 70 Indy. Deep rip.
On first down, it's Lewis, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to... go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On the set.
Mike 54.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Floyd, he's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
The Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Floyd. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
On the ready.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff for Lewis. Levante David in on the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
I mean, you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit exactly.
It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete to Sharp. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it. Lewis. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll stay with Lewis here on 1st down. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. A 2nd down run with Lewis. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Taking it in. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Ooh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at maximum.
On. You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
That's
scores
filet,
3 times.
filet,
There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up.
They'll run on first down. It's Lewis.
Go, 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 go.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On 2nd down, it's Lewis, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now the Bucs down on the scoreboard. 1:53 remaining. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Osweiler, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Here we go, here we go.
Let go.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. They're able to locate Wilson. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Go now.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Osweiler. He completes it to Wilson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. Throwing, Osweiler. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now it's Osweiler. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They'll go with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. It's still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You got nothing. You got nothing.
They try again with Lewis. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Lewis. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check safety.
It's a quarterback sneak. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. But, Charles, a 1-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that 1-score game.